What would happen if you built a refuge for a persecuted people in a place where another people already live? First, there are a couple of things it's helpful to understand. One, many Jews fled harsh persecution in anti-Semitic Europe, especially the Nazi Holocaust. Zionists encouraged massive immigration to historic Palestine, at that time a British colony, where Jews had an age-old connection and where small Jewish communities had long existed among larger groups of indigenous peoples. But when the UN offered the Jewish immigrants the majority of the land for a new state called Israel, for the indigenous Palestinians who lived there, it was a massive destruction of life. They rejected the UN's partition plan, and several Arab states invaded the new state of Israel. Israeli forces essentially erased over 400 Palestinian villages and towns.
I'm from Democratic Republic of Congo. I'm a peace builder. In DRC, I worked helping women to participate in the peace process. Women's voice is not heard, and women's contribution in peace and reconciliation are not taken into account. These are some of the things that women facing in the conflict area. They will keep happening if our voice is not heard.
It's more dangerous to be a woman than a soldier in modern warfare. Following conflict, women are often excluded from decisions that shape their future, and these issues have been ignored.
We can't build peace by leaving out the people out. All over the world, the righteous and talented women are working to build peace now.
I address you tonight not as the President of the United States, not as the leader of a country, but as a citizen of humanity. We are faced with the very gravest of challenges. The Bible calls this day Armageddon, the end of all things. And yet, for the first time in the history of the planet, a species has the technology to prevent its own extinction. All of you praying with us need to know that everything that can be done to prevent this disaster is being called into service. The human thirst for excellence and knowledge, every step up the ladder of science. May we all, citizens the world over, see these events through. Godspeed and good luck to you.
We know enough about climate change. It is time for decisions now. Coping with climate change. What does that mean? Climate has always determined how we live. And when it changed in the past, we adapted. So, what's new about adapting to climate change today? Shouldn't we focus on other challenges, such as education, unemployment, and economic development? Sure enough, the climate has always been changing. But the recent change, caused by our emission of gases such as carbon dioxide and methane that increase the greenhouse effect of the atmosphere, has happened in a much shorter time frame. As a result, the Earth is warming. This change in our climate is already leading to significant impacts. Glaciers are melting faster than expected. Sea level is on the rise. And it's very likely that droughts and extreme weather events like cyclones will become more frequent. These impacts destroy people's livelihoods and homes. They damage our infrastructure and disrupt communication and trade. Moreover, climate change is endangering development successes.
Could war games lead to real war in the South China Sea? The U.S. and Philippines are engaged in annual war game exercises. But with a real conflict brewing for 2 weeks now between China and the Philippines over disputed territory, the threat has escalated. Stratfor explains the conflict.
Chinese-Philippine standoff near a disputed atoll in the South China Sea entered its second day, April 11th. More ships are en route to the scene, and the standoff continues.
Tensions have been churning in the South China Sea for years now. The Los Angeles Times has the background, including why renewed tensions could escalate. The South China Sea has been at the center of long-running territorial disputes involving China, Malaysia, Vietnam, Brunei, Taiwan, and the Philippines. The sea is vital for the fishing industries of nearby countries. Some speculate that it could also contain vast oil and natural gas reserves, but surveys have yet to show any large-scale deposits. Still, this latest conflict has posed serious questions about sovereignty, and ABC Australia notes one question is rising above all others.
While our ancestors were faced with one choice, hunt or go hungry, recent innovations in science and technology offer mankind the highest convenience for the least amount of effort. Thanks to the drive-thru, Americans now enjoy a standard of living unrivaled in history. Simply put, food is no longer an issue. Or is it? Food has become our answer to everything. We eat to reward. We eat to socialize. We eat to comfort ourselves. The more we eat, the better we feel, so we consume larger portions, sacrificing quality for quantity. Ironically, the food we once depended upon for survival now poses the greatest risk of death for our children. So yes, food is an issue. Whether we know it or not, we are at war, and the ones on the front lines have yet to get their driver's licenses. In fact, today's kids may be the first generation in U.S. history to have a shorter life expectancy than their parents. But what can we do?
Women in all parts of the world have abortions, and they have them for similar reasons. Where it is illegal, many women still resort to abortion, even when that means breaking the law. In fact, there is little relationship between the legal status of abortion and how often it occurs. Some of the highest abortion rates in the world are in Latin America and Africa, where abortion is highly restricted in almost every country, but where many women have unintended pregnancies. The world's lowest abortion rates are in Western Europe, where the procedure is legal and widely accessible, but where effective contraceptive use is high and unintended pregnancy rates are low. Making abortion illegal does not stop it from occurring. It just drives it underground. Women are then forced to seek risky procedures, often performed by untrained providers or under unsanitary conditions. And many even try to perform abortions on themselves. The consequences can be horrific.
En el verano de 1968, estudiantes mexicanos toman las calles de la capital.
Todos estábamos hasta del señor presidente.
Estábamos en una olla de vapor que pronto estallaría.
termina en un acto de sangre que conmueve al país.
Era una cosa terrible. La gente caía muertos por todos lados.
Era una sinfonía ahí de llanto, gritos, horror.
A quienes lo comparan con la matanza de Tiananmen.
Jamás se los perdono. Jamás.
4 décadas después, muchas interrogantes siguen sin respuesta.
¿De dónde salieron esos francotiradores? ¿Quién los armó?
¿Es ISIS más peligroso que Al-Qaeda? El grupo terrorista del Estado Islámico de Irak y Siria se ha constituido en una seria amenaza para Siria, para Irak y para todo el mundo. Esta agrupación reúne por año 2.000 millones de dólares. Pongan atención a la cifra de Al-Qaeda. Estos recursos económicos a su vez les atrae más milicianos, lo que redunda en sus victorias militares armadas y a su vez les da mayores recursos económicos. Un peligroso círculo vicioso. Su ideología manda, dicen, volver a los tiempos de Mahoma, pero portan armamentos de vanguardia y se mueven en vehículos de lujo. Su objetivo es predicar el Corán con su lectura radical y que promueven utilizando todas las tecnologías. Los recientes acontecimientos han puesto la alerta sobre ISIS por su creciente poderío armado, por sus avances militares, por sus acaudaladas reservas económicas y por sus cada vez más engrosadas filas de milicianos. Pero sobre todo porque la de Siria e Irak es una guerra a través de Internet y las redes sociales y desde allí extienden su propaganda terrorista a cualquier persona en cualquier lugar.